What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets, and break down some key levels to watch for as the market's trying to get bought back up, and what you should be watching for to see if we're going to get a nice bounce. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposits $2,000, you're guaranteed 30, and the offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that we still have this wedge that Tesla's respecting. But the good news is that Tesla's building some strength as we're seeing a big surge in volume. We're also starting to see a lot more buyers who are stepping in. So for now, this is a good sign, at least for the end of March, and which is, historically a decent time for the markets. So in this case, Tesla is trying to get bought back up. If we could try to get back above 242, we're going to be attempting to get back up to 250. Overall, we're watching this wedge to see if Tesla could break through this or not, as the market is trying to push. Now, if Tesla turns back down, loses 237, we're looking for essentially 233 as our target. Right now, we're trying to hold up and we're showing some strength compared to the market as Tesla's up 2%, despite the market still being somewhat red. But overall, buyers are still coming back. Now, I want to mention that Elon Musk did try to reassure us that the long term for FSD is very bullish, and this is what's somewhat helping the share price, not to mention some more news. But I want to see Tesla try to break this wedge right over here. If we could break out of this wedge maybe going into next week, that would open the opportunity for a temporary relief move back up to 250. So I'll be watching to see if we break out or not. But for now, Tesla's attempting to push. So watch that 242 area to see if Tesla could break that or not. And we'll see how it goes. As a reminder, I just want to remind you all we just had some Fed speakers not really saying too much so far. So they just finished their speeches, and the market did dip a bit, only to get bought back up. So we'll see how it goes. But Tesla, of all things, is showing some strength, so we'll see if we can break 242 or not. It's possible we do see some chop as a result. For SPY, although we dipped, let me show you two things that are very interesting. We dipped in the morning, okay? And there's lots of option expirations today because of OPEX. We basically have about millions and millions of these puts and calls expiring. We saw a lot of chop as a result, but now there's buyers who've been trying to defend a little bit. So SPY is trying to bounce just a bit. We went from 558 to about 560, almost 562. So we almost bounced a bit. We need to see SPY hold above 562. If that holds, I'm going to be looking for an attempt to get closer to like 565 to fill this gap. If we can't hold above 562, we could be returning back down. So watch and see if we could hold 560. If 560 fails us, we could retest the lows. If we hold above 560 but can't break 562, we're just going to be range bound. And if we get back above that resistance, we're looking for an attempt to retest these highs up here and then eventually try to fill the gap. When you look at the daily chart on SPY, it is looking a little bit more bullish, firstly, and then secondly, we have a big gap to fill. So I do think that we will eventually attempt to fill this gap back up towards 563 very soon, unless SPY loses like 558 and starts dumping that could change my view. But for now, we're looking like we want to push higher to fill this gap, and that could be a little bit more bullish for like Tesla and the others. For the QQQ, we're looking pretty good. If we could hold above 478, that's going to be a good sign for 480. If we lose 474, it's going to be a bad sign, but so far we're actually holding it on the daily. And we look at the 4 hour, it's actually bouncing. So we saw this dump only to bounce back up. I'd like to see us reclaim 478.77. If that is reclaimed, this could try to continue to uptrend. It did dip, but now we're seeing buyers who are trying to defend the QQQ. It was down over 1%. Now it's down only 0.4%. So this is actually stronger than SPY. So for now, there are buyers who are trying to defend, and we're showing some life. Onto the Russell, just keep in mind we have an inverse head and shoulders like pattern. I would like to see us get back above 205 to really start pushing. For now, we did touch 201, and then we started to rebound a little bit off of that. So we'll have to see how well we hold up from this point on. Also, if you look at ES, it also dipped quite a bit, but notice around 56.50, we saw this actually hold support. So we didn't really lose 56.50 or see a big dump below that. We actually saw some buyers defending it. So that's a good sign. And moving forward, I need to see this reclaim 57.12 to actually try some kind of bounce. If we can't reclaim that, we're going to likely shuffle from here. So lose 56.50, this will start dumping lower towards the lower 5600s. Get back above 57.12, and this is going to try to bounce. Otherwise, we're still technically in a range. This is still trying to push a bit, so we'll see if we can reclaim that resistance, get back above 57.12. On NQ, if we end up losing 19,600, we could be dipping more. If we get back above 19,900, we could try to bounce. So we're kind of stuck in the middle. There is kind of like a double bottom like structure, but I want to see us get back above the 19,800. So we'll see how it goes. There's obviously a little bit of weakness here, but we're in a range, right? As we hit 19,600, we're bouncing, we're holding support so far, but I would really like to see us get back above at least 19,850 to see some 19,850 to see some sort of bounce move, a bigger move. For Bitcoin, we're barely trying to hold 84,000. If we hold that, this could try to push higher. If we lose this, it's going to be a sign we could be dipping to about 82,500. So we're kind of stuck in the middle, but there is potential as long as 84,000 holds. Notice that Nvidia dipped about 115 exactly as I predicted, but I said to watch and see if buyers defend near here. That's exactly where it went to. Now buyers are trying to defend. So if we could reclaim 117, that's going to be a good sign for the Qs and etc. Once again, Tesla is showing some strength. Let's see if we could break and hold above 242. Otherwise, it's going to be pushing more. Aapl dumped to about 208, but now it's getting bought back up. It needs to reclaim 214. If we hold above 214.8, we're looking for essentially 218 as our target, so give that some time. For Coinbase, we're basically doing a good job at holding up. We basically have this 180 area as our support, so we have 194 as our resistance. We'll see if we can hold above 187.9. If that holds, we're looking for essentially 195. So I think this may attempt to bounce, so give this some time. For Amazon, we want to see this reclaim 195. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially 198. If we end up losing 191, we could be dumping. So watch to see if we get some kind of bounce move. So for now, we have 191 as our support. So give it some time. We're just in a range. I'd like to see us reclaim that. As long as we don't lose that, I mean, this is going to be completely fine. If 191 fails, this is going to be a bad sign. So as long as we're above it, we could be on our way back up to 198. Meta is trying to rebound. I want to see us hold 593. As long as that holds, we're looking for an attempt for 604 again. So it could try to bounce for the 600s. It has potential. Microsoft is bouncing. We want to see it reclaim 386. If that holds, we're looking for 388. For Google, we want to see it get back above 165. If that breaks, we're looking for 167. So there's potential as well. The VIX initially tried to push. Now it's rejecting off its 20 EMA. Look for 19.62 as support. If that fails us, I do expect that to dip, and that's going to be bullish for the market. So what is my view overall? Honestly, guys, it looks like the market is attempting a bounce, but we need confirmation. I'd like to see SPY hold above 562 at the very least. The 4 hours in the middle, we still technically have an inverse head and shoulders like pattern as we're trying to make a higher low. And if we could establish a higher low right here, if we continue to do that, there's a good chance that this is going to try to rebound. But as far as Tesla goes, we're resilient. We're looking stronger and more bullish. Hold above 214. We're looking for 250 is my next target. I think there's potential for us to push even more. Tesla's showing some strength right now as buyers are coming back, and hopefully we do try to break past resistance. So with that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great rest of your day. I'll be back with another upload in just a couple of hours. Until then, have a good one and peace out.